Hello.
You there?
Yes. All right.
Talk to Ace.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yay.
Come on, Rain. Stay away.
I think we'll be okay. I got a good feeling.
Yeah. I hope your feeling can defy Mother Nature.
Look, man.
What are you doing, Cat? Damn. Alright, so we're headed to Ace Cafe. We stopped by Standard Motorcycle Company. We were going to oil change on the Grom, but unfortunately did not have the oil that we needed. And it's not like we have to, but yeah, I just thought it would be cool to have a Harley technician working on a Grom.
You know, I feel like I was in charge of the oil change and I let you down.
Damn it, John Maxwell.
Yeah, I'll just stick to Harleys. I might need to stick to Harleys. I don't know.
Like Honda failed. So yeah, I think the last thing we were talking about was who that John Maxwell got be.
I got married, had kids, and needed a real job.
That's where we kind of ended off.
Yes. So when it came down to it, getting a real job to me meant not losing my number one passion, motorcycles. Like, I didn't want to have to pick family over bikes like so many people do. I figured for sure I could make motorcycles my real job, and then I would never have to give up my, like, what I really love to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to pick. I could just have everything the way I wanted it, and so far it's going pretty well for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that turned out to be an okay plan, but it was really scary at the time, which I talk about a lot on my channel, so I probably won't ramble on about it here on your channel, but that is something that's constant reminder to me of how a lot of hard work took to pay off. It isn't like it all just falls into place.
Oh yeah, man. It's like,
you gotta work for it.
Exactly. You gotta work for where you want to be, and like you said, it's definitely scary at first taking that initial jump, but that's awesome. It's working out for you, man.
Good stuff, man.
And you're getting to do kind of a side hobby that you enjoy doing YouTube and being not awkward in front of a camera.
Yeah, being a YouTuber was like, wait, is this real life?
Isn't that weird though?
Yeah, I think
like, oh, you're a YouTuber. You're like, no, I just make videos.
Yeah, I make crappy YouTube videos. Yeah. Honestly, I think fan mail is when I felt like a YouTuber.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think after I got my first fan mail, I put out a video about being a YouTuber, and it dawned on me when I said it. I was like, man, this is the first time I've ever said I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like, but somebody just sent me something in the mail, so it feels legit. Maybe it's true, I don't know.
I think it kind of dawned on me whenever people started basically saying how much the channel, like, it impacted, you know, some of their decisions or their lives, or, you know, gave them the confidence to try and ride a motorcycle again, or work on their own motorcycles, or hell, even buy a motorcycle. Like, once I started seeing, like, that the channel was impacting people like that, which totally not a side effect that I even would have like thought of, I would consider that, I guess, being a YouTuber.
That makes sense. For me, I guess like part of my job as a Harley tech kind of has that influence, but obviously much smaller scale. Like, you start getting some messages from people about how they chose this model because of the video you did and stuff like that. It's crazy.
I put up a video asking people like if the channel had influenced them, and it got...
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, it got a huge response. Like, I didn't expect a response like it got at all, but the amount of people saying that they, you know, bought motorcycles and because of the channel was just like overwhelming. It's awesome to see that, you know, it's like the reason I do it is sharing the love of motorcycles, sharing the love of riding. I mean, obviously we're on Groms right now,
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're having fun still. You're welcome.
I'm having more fun than I've had on a motorcycle in a long time. Like,
coming from a Harley guy, yeah. You know what I'm gonna title this episode? Harley rider hates Honda Grom.
Yeah, it is. It's fun, man. I think Harley owners, or not even all Harley owners. I think there's a lot of old school Harley that puts a bad taste in the younger generation's mouth about Harley-Davidson. Yeah. And that's what I like about your channel is it's a younger dude just enjoying motorcycles. It doesn't matter the brand, it doesn't matter anything. Just, it's about staying upright on two wheels. Yep. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. It's about enjoying being on two wheels, and it doesn't matter what brand you have or what style bike you ride, man. We're all sharing kind of the same problems, you know?
Yeah.
Being in traffic and...
I always say that the wind feels the same.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. I think a lot of people expect me to like not like their bike because it's not a Harley or something, and that's just not even the case.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I might talk a little like friendly smack, but that's just because that's how I am.
Yeah. That's really funny, though. You know that's going to haunt you, right? The fact that you said you're having more fun riding motorcycles right now than you have.
Wait, you're going to put that in the video?
Oh, yeah. You're like, no.
Oh, man. That's one thing that I haven't really talked about on my channel much, that I've been meaning to get out there. Because I talk about how fun my job is, how great it is, just to kind of keep positivity going, you know. But the reality is, it's a job still. There's some days that it's kind of,
yeah.
There's some days that I'd like to,
like, next road.
Not look at my own motorcycle because I'm tired of motorcycles.
Well, you do 24/7. It can definitely get tiring.
Well, and that's what. So, in a lot of ways, like this is being on the Grom, man. That's a way different experience.
Oh,
like how I'm sitting, like how I'm riding it.
Yeah, well, you get way more confident because of how small and lightweight and nimble it is.
Absolutely.
Releases your inner hooligan and explorer.
That it does.
Like, honestly, if we had more time, dude, that's why I was asking if you could get like another morning, you know, where we could just like go out and ride around on Groms, because, you know, that's like the whole sense of Grom Ventures, and they make you want to explore, you know.
For sure. Now, there is something to be said about like where you're at and where you're riding is a big part of whether or not a Grom would be fun too.
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's like, mostly like going to be local stuff, like what we're doing right now.
Absolutely.
You're not going to get distance on these things.
Well, like good riding where I'm at is very much out in the country, long winding country roads. Like the city isn't very big, you know, so.
Yeah, it's definitely more like a urban, you know, like closer.
Big city whipping through town.
Yeah, like, they top out at, you know, 50, 60 miles an hour.
Really? I hadn't noticed that at all.
So, yeah, anywhere that the speed limit's over that, I'm not going to take this thing like on the interstate or the turnpike to, you know, we're not taking these to Cocoa. That should
for sure. Speaking of which, that's a video.
What? Going to Cocoa?
Going to Cocoa.
Oh, yeah.
That is not going to be this video, right?
Nope. I guess we can continue the Who is John Maxwell on that one. Because we're almost at Ace Cafe. It's like right here.
Sweet.
God, this thing's
I do like your Grom sounds better than my Grom.
Yeah, that's what happens when you put an exhaust on it.
Yeah.
You should know that, Harley tech.
I know. It's funny that Harley catches a lot of crap about not sounding right. You know, like it doesn't even sound like a Harley, blah blah blah. Okay. And all my new bike videos, it's like, have you ever heard the other manufacturers? That's like standard stuff.
Yeah, man, you got to pay that Harley tax for it to sound like a Harley.
Every motorcycle sounds like not the way it could sound. It isn't just a Harley thing. That's like straight up. That's EPA stuff, man.
Exactly.
Like,
it's got to be at a certain decibel level and all that.
Yeah, your Grom sounds incredible, but not from stock.
Oh, hell no.
Some of it too.
Sounds like.
Yeah, it's just funny. People seem more angry about it when they talk about Harleys. You know,
the thing with these is you can buy exhaust and throw it on there for like $150. Cheap, mad cheap.
What are you talking about, man? I'll throw you Harley exhaust on for $150.
Oh yeah, like that's what you charge me to do the labor.
Yeah, I mean you just got to pay for the $1,000 pipe, and then I'll charge you $150 to put it on.
It's ridiculous sometimes how much those like exhaust cost, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we are, Ace Cafe. Gonna grab
Ace
some lunch.
Cafe.
Then we're gonna go swap out these mini bikes for biggie bikes, some Harleys, and head to Coco. And we will continue the Who is John Maxwell after that. At this point, we are to you buying a Sportster still. It's all good. We're having fun.
Yeah.
Shut up. You saw nothing. Turn your GoPro off.
I didn't get that on video, don't you worry.
That was too close. Too close to the cab. Alright, food and drink time.
Yeah, for sure.